Welcome to Mythos AI, your source for Cliff's Notes on complex subjects. Join Anna and Phil for yet another engaging conversation.
Today we're taking a deep dive into the legacy of Gordon Moore, a name that's become synonymous with the rapid progress of computing power, and exploring his profound impact on the world of AI.
Moore wasn't simply a predictor of the future, he was a driving force behind it. It's fascinating to trace his journey from a childhood curiosity for science to becoming a pillar of Silicon Valley.
So let's start at the beginning. What sparked Moore's early interest in science?
It seems some individuals, like Moore, possess an innate curiosity about how things work.
This natural inclination led him to Caltech, right, to pursue his PhD.
Exactly, a decision that would have far-reaching implications, extending far beyond his academic pursuits.
And that decision to attend Caltech would put him on a direct path to Silicon Valley, though the area wasn't known by that name yet.
Precisely. While the term Silicon Valley was yet to be coined, the seeds of that tech hub were being sown. In '56, Moore joined Shockley Semiconductor Laboratory, marking a pivotal moment in his journey.
Can you tell us more about Shockley Semiconductor? What role did it play in shaping Moore's trajectory and the future of technology?
Shockley Semiconductor was really where we see the very foundation of Silicon Valley being laid. William Shockley, a Nobel laureate, brilliant in his own right, unfortunately, didn't translate that brilliance into his management style.
It was a rather tumultuous work environment, wasn't it?
It was, so much so that Moore and 7 of his colleagues, who later became known as the Traitorous Eight, made a bold move.
And that was?
In 1957, they left Shockley Semiconductor to establish Fairchild Semiconductor, a decision that sent shockwaves throughout the then-emerging tech world.
I imagine that caused quite a stir.
Oh, absolutely. Fairchild went on to become a major player in developing the first commercially viable integrated circuits, essentially the building blocks of modern electronics.
And that really put Silicon Valley on the map.
It did, and it directly shaped Moore's future. His time at Fairchild, especially working alongside Robert Noyce, another member of the Traitorous Eight, proved to be a pivotal period for him.
Which brings us to 1968 and the formation of Intel. How did this partnership between Moore and Noyce influence the company's direction and, ultimately, the future of technology?
Intel, initially focused on semiconductor memory, rapidly transformed under Moore's guidance. He and Noyce had a shared vision, with Moore's technical expertise complementing Noyce's inventive genius. It was a truly potent partnership. By 1971, this synergy led to the creation of the Intel 4004, the world's first commercially available microprocessor.
Talk about a game changer. The Intel 4004 revolutionized computing. How did its invention impact the trajectory of both computing and, looking ahead, AI?
The Intel 4004 was monumental. It was the catalyst for the personal computer revolution, a tool that would fundamentally change how we work, communicate, and even think.
It's difficult to imagine the world without personal computers now.
Right, and this invention laid the groundwork for our digital age, paving the way for everything from smartphones to the vast realm of cloud computing. And these advancements, all stemming from the microprocessor, would eventually become crucial for the development and evolution of AI.
And this is where we start to see the incredible ripple effects of Moore's work, especially as they relate to AI. But before we get into that, let's delve into what's arguably his most famous contribution, Moore's Law. Can you explain this prediction and its significance?
In 1965, Moore made a bold prediction, noting that the number of transistors that could fit on a microchip was doubling roughly every year. He later refined this to every 2 years in 1975. This observation came to be known as Moore's Law.
So what started as a simple observation became a driving force in the semiconductor industry.
Exactly. It essentially became a self-fulfilling prophecy, pushing the industry to continuously innovate and strive to achieve that projected growth.
Moore's Law, while simple on the surface, has had far-reaching consequences. Could you elaborate on its impact, especially regarding AI?
Moore's Law, with its prediction of this exponential growth in computing power, proved to be a fundamental catalyst in the field of AI. That consistent reduction in the cost and size of transistors, combined with the increase in processing power, were essential to the advancements in AI algorithms.
So are you saying that without these advances, the field of AI would be far behind where it is today?
Without a doubt. Many of the breakthroughs we've seen in machine learning, deep learning, and neural networks simply wouldn't have been possible without the continuous improvement in processing power, memory capacity, and affordability driven by Moore's Law.
So Moore's Law essentially laid the very foundation upon which AI could take root and flourish.
Absolutely. It's not just fertile ground, it's the bedrock. It's more than just bedrock, though. It's like Moore's law provided the blueprint for AI's growth. The exponential increase in computing power he predicted directly translates to the complexity and capabilities of AI algorithms we see today.
So without Moore's law, we would be significantly more limited in the kinds of problems AI could tackle.
Exactly. We'd be looking at a very different AI landscape right now, that's for sure.
Can you give our listeners a sense of how Moore's law has shaped the AI we interact with daily? What are some concrete examples?
Absolutely. Think about something like image recognition, the technology that allows your smartphone to identify faces in photos or enable self-driving cars to navigate their surroundings.
Those are pretty impressive feats when you think about it.
They are. And those tasks require immense processing power to analyze that visual data in real time, something that's only been made possible by the advancements fueled by Moore's law.
It's incredible to think about how a prediction about the number of transistors on a chip could have such a tangible impact on our lives.
And it goes far beyond those everyday examples. Think about natural language processing, the tech behind virtual assistants like Siri or Alexa, their ability to understand and respond to human speech. That relies on extremely intricate algorithms that have to process and analyze massive, and I mean massive, data sets of language data.
That's a lot of data crunching.
It is. And again, it's something we can only achieve because of the advancements driven by Moore's law.
So we're talking everything from the convenience of our smartphones to the potential of self-driving cars, all stemming from this prediction about computing power.
Precisely. And it goes even deeper than that. Moore's law underpins those massive data centers that power the cloud, which are essential for training the most sophisticated AI models.
Because those models need enormous amounts of data to learn, right?
Exactly. We're talking huge amounts of data, and the processing can take weeks, sometimes even longer. Without the constant improvement in computing power and cost efficiency driven by Moore's law, this kind of large-scale AI research would be virtually impossible. It's like this invisible force shaping the future of AI from the ground up.
It really does seem that way. But while AI has been profoundly impacted, Moore's law has fueled a much broader technological revolution.
Oh, absolutely. It's touched nearly every aspect of modern technology.
Can you give us some examples of how Moore's law has impacted areas beyond AI?
Well, consider the miniaturization of technology. Think about it. Your phone has more computing power than the computers used for the entire Apollo 11 mission, and it fits in your pocket.
It's mind-boggling when you put it like that.
It really is. And this remarkable miniaturization, the increase in power consumption, all while becoming more affordable, these are all direct results of Moore's law.
It really makes you appreciate how much technology has advanced in such a short period.
Absolutely. And these advancements, even in seemingly unrelated areas, they all intertwine and propel AI's progress forward as well.
How so? Can you give us an example of that interconnectedness?
Sure. Consider the rise of smartphones and the absolute explosion of data they generate. Photos, videos, messages, location data. All of this provides the raw material that fuels the development of AI systems.
So the more we use our devices, the more data we generate, which in turn fuels AI development.
You got it. And this data, coupled with the advancements in processing power made possible by Moore's law, creates this powerful feedback loop, driving the evolution of both AI and the devices we use every day.
It sounds like this incredible synergy of technological advancement, all stemming from this prediction made decades ago. But this leads to a crucial question, one that has huge implications for the future of AI. What happens if Moore's law hits a wall?
That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it?
There's a growing conversation about the future of Moore's law and its potential slowdown or even an eventual halt. Is that something we're likely to see?
It's certainly a topic that's on a lot of people's minds. And for good reason. We're starting to bump up against the physical limits of how small we can make transistors using traditional silicon-based technology.
So we're approaching a limit on how much computing power we can squeeze out of silicon.
It's not as simple as hitting a hard ceiling, but we're definitely encountering some fundamental barriers. At a certain point, you simply can't cram any more transistors onto a chip without encountering quantum effects that start to interfere with their functionality.
So what does this mean for the future of computing and, by extension, the future of AI? Where do we go from here?
That's the question everyone's trying to answer. Researchers and engineers are exploring all sorts of possibilities.
What are some of the avenues being explored to maintain this incredible trajectory of exponential growth in computing power, even if Moore's law, as we know it, slows down?
There are several promising areas of research. One of the most exciting is quantum computing, which harnesses the mind-boggling principles of quantum mechanics to perform computations in ways that are simply impossible for our traditional computers.
Quantum computing, it still feels like something straight out of science fiction.
It's definitely a radical shift from our classical understanding of computing, but the potential is immense. Imagine solving problems in hours or even minutes that would take a conventional computer billions of years to solve.
That's an almost incomprehensible increase in processing power. What kind of problems would that kind of computational power unlock?
Quantum computing has the potential to revolutionize fields like medicine, material science, and of course, AI. We could see the development of entirely new drugs and therapies, the design of materials with unprecedented properties, and AI systems with capabilities beyond anything we can currently imagine.
It sounds like quantum computing could be the key to unlocking a whole new era of technological advancement.
It's a powerful contender, but it's not the only game in town. Another fascinating area is neuromorphic computing, which takes inspiration from the structure and function of the human brain.
So are we talking about building computer chips that mimic the human brain?
Essentially, yes. These brain-inspired chips are designed for parallel processing and incredible energy efficiency, mimicking the way neurons communicate with each other in our own brains.
And what's the advantage of modeling computer chips after the human brain?
Well, the human brain, for all its limitations, is remarkably efficient at solving complex problems, using far less energy than even the most powerful supercomputers. By understanding and replicating the brain's computational methods, we could potentially create AI systems that are not only more powerful, but also far more energy efficient.
So we're looking to nature for inspiration on how to build the next generation of computers.
Exactly. It's a testament to the elegance and efficiency of biological systems, and it highlights that the pursuit of Moore's law isn't just about making things smaller, it's about exploring entirely new ways of thinking about computing.
So it's less about the specific technology and more about the underlying drive for exponential progress.
You've hit the nail on the head. That drive is essential, especially in a field like AI, which demands more and more computing power all the time.
So even if Moore's law, in its strictest sense, the doubling of transistors on a chip might be reaching its limits, its legacy will continue to drive innovation.
Absolutely. The spirit of Moore's law, this relentless pursuit of innovation, is more relevant now than ever, especially as AI continues to demand more and more computational resources. It's even more than just a drive, though. It's a call to action, a challenge to constantly be pushing those boundaries, to see what else we can achieve. And whether we get there through quantum computing, neuromorphic computing, or some other groundbreaking technology we haven't even dreamt up yet, that quest to extend this trajectory of exponential growth, that's what will define the future of computing. And with it, the future of AI.
It really is remarkable. Moore's law started as an observation about the semiconductor industry and has sparked this incredible exploration of what's computationally possible.
It really goes to show the power behind a well-articulated prediction, especially one that was rooted in insightful observation, a deep understanding of the technology.
And we can't forget about all the other materials scientists are exploring. Graphene, for example. That has the potential to lead to even faster, more efficient transistors.
Right. Graphene, other two-dimensional materials, they hold so much potential. Their unique properties could allow us to overcome some of those limitations we're facing with silicon-based transistors, opening the door for smaller, faster, more energy-efficient devices.
It seems like every time we run into a wall, a new path appears.
It really does, and that just speaks to the incredible ingenuity and this relentless spirit of innovation we see within the scientific and engineering communities.
It's inspiring to see how Moore's legacy continues to drive progress, pushing us to explore these new frontiers.
I agree. And as we go further down this path, exploring these new paradigms of computing, we also need to consider the broader implications of this constant pursuit of more and more computational power.
What kind of implications?
Well, for one, it makes us really examine the very nature of intelligence. If we stay on this course driven by these advancements in computing power, what does that mean for us, for humanity? What does it mean to live in a world where machines are becoming increasingly capable of things that were once thought to be exclusively within the realm of human intelligence?
Those are some profound questions.
They are, and I don't claim to have the answers. But I do think grappling with those questions, those ethical and societal implications, is crucial as we venture further into the future of AI. We have to ensure we're developing this technology in a way that ultimately benefits humanity as a whole.
It's a good reminder that even with exciting technological progress, we always need to consider its impact.
Precisely. We have to approach the future of AI and really this ever-increasing computing power that fuels it with a sense of wonder and possibility, but also with a commitment to responsible development.
It seems like a fitting place to wrap up our deep dive into the world of Gordon Moore. His legacy extends far beyond just faster computers or more powerful AI. It's about igniting that spark of curiosity, that drive to explore and push the boundaries of what we think is possible.
That's what it all comes down to. His real legacy, it's that spirit of inquiry, that drive to understand, that relentless pursuit of innovation that he embodied throughout his career.
It's a legacy that will undoubtedly continue to shape our world for generations to come. Thank you for joining us today for this deep dive into the life, work, and the lasting impact of Gordon Moore.
It's been my pleasure.
Thanks for listening to Mythos AI. Stay tuned for more concise insights. And remember to hit the like button and subscribe for future episodes.